Excuse me, but I've got something to tell you first. Thank you for ruining my life!
Ashley!
What did you do?
Everybody's always blaming me for everything.
Peter Schiff warns, deep state, unafraid to crash the market on Trump's watch. The S&P 500 closed down more than 2.4%, and the broad market index posted its worst April start since 1929. This slide in the markets caused the worst start since the Great Depression, sparking fears we are on the same path. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell by 1.9%, or 458 points, as China's retaliatory tariffs against US states' agricultural goods stroke fears of a global trade war. Dow stocks with large international markets, now exposed to global tariffs such as Boeing and 3M, led the decliners. And markets are accelerating back lower today. Many market analysts have predicted we will live through another Great Depression. And Peter Schiff says this next one will be far worse than the one our ancestors lived through. The bad news is we are going to live through another Great Depression, and it's going to be very, very different. This will be in many ways much, much worse than what people had to endure during the Great Depression, Schiff says. This is going to be a dollar crisis. The Fed thinks they create economic growth by saying, let's jack up the stock market, and then the economy is going to grow and people are going to go out and spend more money, Schiff says. It's actually doing damage. If you create a bunch of phony wealth and people end up spending money that they would otherwise have saved, you are undermining economic growth. And Schiff, who accurately predicted the 2008 recession, has now predicted the dollar crisis. The dollar is now in a downward spiral thanks to China's petro-yuan. Bespoke Investments co-founder Justin Walters, who also noted the historic nature of the close, said in an email that equity fears aren't likely to abate until earnings arrive. Based on recent market action, the bears clearly have control right now, Walters wrote. The path of least resistance is lower until something comes along to reverse that trend. Schiff, in contrast, says the deep state, those who operate the Federal Reserve, is not afraid to crash the economy on Trump's watch. Schiff says it's not a good thing that the economy is going to crash and burn. Unfortunately, that's what Trump has inherited from Obama. But it's not even really just Obama. It's the Federal Reserve. It's the monetary policy that has been passed like a baton from Clinton to Bush to Obama and now to Trump. And we're near the end of the game, and, unfortunately, Trump's gonna be the fall guy. This thing is gonna collapse while he is president. The tax cuts will give Democrats a reason to blame the collapse all on the Republicans, says Schiff, and we are getting close to this collapse. The trade wars with China is also the perfect smokescreen for an economic crash and will allow the mainstream media to wholly blame Trump when it happens. I'm hitting readers with all of this because I'm growing rather tired of the contingent of Trump apologists in the liberty movement scrambling to defend every single Trump action, no matter how illogical. These people should know better. Sorry, but Trump is not playing 4D chess against the globalists. His primary actions have only served so far to create a useful distraction away from the globalists. The disturbing key to all of this is the fact that many of Trump's policies are things that I and many others have argued for in the past. The problem is, he's implementing them out of order and with bad timing, which will only make such policies appear destructive in the end, rather than constructive. Trump is looking like he will be the fall guy, and when the economy does crash, and it will, Trump won't be able to do a whole lot to stop it. In fact, he will be seen as the cause. His policies are slightly dangerous, but he and his ride-or-die supporters won't state the truth, and just like the mainstream media, they will toe the line with no real blame from either side going to where it belongs, the Federal Reserve.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Verse 24, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakah, Kodash, Barakatha. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and making their body a living sacrifice for Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp, and the reason why I brought out the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 23 and 24, is because this video you just seen, all right? The video you just watched pretty much explained the coming collapse of America, all right? And there's nothing you can do, all right, to stop it, all right? The economy, all right, as you've seen on television or your local news, is constantly chaotic, erratic, all right? And, all right, it's just one of the signs, all right, that the American empire is coming to an end, all right? And these are the snares, all right? One of the snares that the Lord, okay, the God of Israel, has put upon America for its wickedness, all right? And so not only are you going to go into the Third World War, the War of Armageddon, all right, but also your economy is going to collapse in the process, all right? Because you cannot keep spending money, all right, and getting into debt and think there's no repercussions for it. And that's why this video explained it perfectly, all right? That the dollar is going to collapse. All the nations are running away from the American dollar, all right? And no matter what you do, no matter all types of money you can print out of thin air, it's still not going to stop the economy from collapsing, okay? So now, let me get into an article, all right? Because this article really pretty much explains a lot what's going on with the economy and where it's heading, all right? And why the economy has to collapse, okay? Another reason why, all right, is because the elite, the Illuminati, want to bring in the RFID chip, okay, the microchip, all right? So they have to collapse this economy, okay? And that's how you know the economy is rigged. But a lot of these stupid investors, they really think, okay, that they can outsmart, okay, a rigged economy, which is going to eat them alive, all right? So this is from the Seattle Times. It says, unknowns that could bring down this booming economy. Right, unknowns, all right? So he breaks it down. There's three parts he breaks it down. The first one, well, let me read what he says first. He says, more than 10 years after the start of the Great Recession, the economy has finally healed, which is a lie, okay? There's no healing Babylon, all right? In fact, let me get that scripture out. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, and I'll start at 7. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. Right, drunken off the philosophy, okay, of America, all the earth drunk off of it, all right? The nations have drunken off her wine, right? The philosophies, all right? Mainly the financial philosophies of this world is, okay, because of the so-called white man, Esau, okay? Mainly America, okay, which is his chief house, all right? Wall Street, Keynesian economics, all right? Central banking, all right? What quantitative easing, all right? All these financial terms, they get it from America, man, okay? And they follow after America's footprints, all right? That's why the nations are mad, because they realize America screwed them over, all right? And that's why you have China, Russia working together. You have the BRICS, okay? You even have the European Union. They're working together, all right? Because they realize America is the problem, okay? Verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her, right? This place is destroyed, all right? It just now needs to be manifested, all right? This place is going to be desolated, all right? Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. Verse 9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Right. So what him saying more than 10 years after the start of the Great Recession, the economy has finally healed is a lie. All right? It hasn't healed. It's an illusion. It's fabricated. Okay? It's a mask. Okay? It's a cloak. Okay? To deceive everybody. Okay? Forsake her and let her go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reaches onto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Right, man? That's why America's going to be judged, man. All right? Because all her sins have reached the heavens. All right? So this whole notion that it healed, that's total BS. All right? If it healed, then you wouldn't be writing this article. Okay? A few metropolitan areas such as Seattle with large technology clusters got there first. They were powered in many cases by historic booms. In most other cases, it's been a long, painful slog, right? And that proves right there, you know, this fork-tongued demon, all right? That this 10 years, people were still suffering, all right? There was no real economic growth, all right? All it was is central banking pumping money into the system, trying to fix, okay, a broken system, all right? That's why you can't heal Babylon, all right? No bomb can heal this place, all right? She's broken, all right? Because the Lord put a snare upon her, all right? So now it goes on and says, but it's not bearing alarmist, but it's not being alarmist to point out some looming risks. Expansions don't last forever. And this is already one of the longest on record, right? 10 years and no recession? That's how you know the economy's getting ready to collapse, all right? 10 years and no recession. It just keeps going and continuing going on? Nah, all right? We're in the, that's how you know that this next recession is not. It's a Great Depression, like the video said, all right? We're going to go into a Great Depression. It's going to be worse than the 1930s, all right? Some of you American maggots, you should read about the Great Depression, how bad it was, all right? And it's going to be worse than that, okay? Trade, all right? So he goes, okay, so he says, expansions don't last forever, and this is already one of the longest on record. Beyond that, 3 areas deserve our attention, right? He goes into trade, right? What trade is he talking about? The trade war, the tariffs between China and America, right? So that's one of the main key factors of why this economy is going to collapse, all right? But he brings out a good point. He says, add in the bullying negotiations on NAFTA and antagonism of other allies, and the Trump administration is abandoning nearly 8 decades of American leadership on trade. A key element was lowering tariffs, right? Because Trump's against NAFTA, all right? So he's out there messing around with that whole NAFTA situation, all right? The North American Free Trade Agency, all right? Which that just put America, all right? And pretty much punking Canada and Mexico. But either way, Trump is showing his horns and telling these 2 nations, hey, you better come up with our program. If not, hey. So that's one of the main things, all right, that could that's affecting the economy. But this is the key point. He says, now we're in new territory. He says the last full-blown trade war was initiated with the Smoot-Hawley tariff of 1930. That was during the Great Depression, which helped turn a severe economic contraction into the Great Depression, right? Because the 1930s, it actually was, it started in 1929 when the economy started tanking, and then with these tariffs, all right, the 1930 really just drove the Great Depression for 10 years, all right? That's the reason why, okay, America had to go into World War II, okay, in the early 1940s, all right, to get out of the Great Depression, because that's the only way that, okay, any country can get out of an economic catastrophe is through war. But guess what, America, you're not going to win this war. So your ass is going to get handed twice by losing World War III and an economic collapse, all right? A Brookings Institution analyst shows Seattle as one of the metros most exposed to a trade shock, but it's far from alone. Right. So you have a lot of cities being exposed to this trade war. All right. Here's the next one, and this leads me to the point of this video of why. All right. It's not just trade war. It's the banks. All right. Debt. That's the second reason why this economy is going to collapse. Debt. All right. Debt. Remember shadow banking? Remember shadow banking? Is hedge funds and structured investment vehicles are two examples of this complex set of institutions and markets that operate outside conventional banks. This is one of the little regulated portions of the financial system that played a major role in the bubble and panic of 2008. That's right. Shadow banking is still here and possibly dangerous. A report last month from the International Monetary Fund, which is the IMF, warned of high levels of leverage in shadow banking. This is the IMF reporting this, all right? And an inability of regulators to track it, right? Okay? You have all these crooked firms and institutions, all right, doing backdoor deals, all right, just propping up this economy for its inevitable, which is going to implode. It's going to collapse. Commercial banks are connected to the shadow banking system. The IMF report says this allows the regulated banks to keep a good deal of debt off their balance sheets, right? They're trying to hide their debt, but everybody's in debt. No matter the higher capital requirements imposed on them after the 2008 crisis. All right, so that's what you have. Meanwhile, Republicans and Congress have rolled back the Dodd-Frank bill imposed after bankster hustles nearly brought down the world financial system. Among his provisions were one to ensure the orderly winding down of major institutions in trouble to avoid a repeat of the Lehman Brothers failure. Another piece established the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. All right, so yeah, so you have the Republican Party and also Democrats. There's some Democrats that are in that are pulling back these bills that were passed because of the financial crisis. All right, so there you have it, man. You're gonna see an economy collapse, man. All right, all hell's about to break loose. All right, they're doing the same shit they did prior to the 2008 financial crisis. All right, that's why this financial crisis is gonna be worse than 2008, like Peter Schiff said. Okay, like the guy who's commentating Peter Schiff in this video. All right. Let's continue on. A rookie Federal Reserve chairman, right? Because at the end of the day, it all goes back to the Federal Reserve, man. All right, the Federal Reserve is going to be the main, facilitator for this collapse. All right, and it's bound to happen because the Federal Reserve is controlled by the Illuminati, the secret societies, the elite Rothschild Rockefellers. All right, and they want to implode this economy so they can usher in their new world order via the microchip. All right. A rookie Federal Reserve Chairman, Trump was eager to oust veteran Fed Chair Janet Yellen. Now the central bank chairman is Jay Powell. Well regarded but relatively inexperienced, he became Fed governor in 2012, so wasn't there for the white-knuckle decisions of 2008-09 that helped avert catastrophe. Yellen and her predecessor Ben Bernanke were there. They are also economists and academics. Bernanke is a distinguished scholar of the Fed during the Great Depression. As chairman, he was determined not to repeat its errors from that era. Powell is a lawyer who also worked for years as an investment banker on Wall Street. A freaking lawyer. So his main education is in law, not in finance. All right, so that's how they're gonna blame Trump. They're gonna blame this retard. All right, it's beautiful, man. Just so that the nations can go and look at America and be like, "You're a piece of shit. You're a lying piece of shit. You got a piece of shit as the president. You got a piece of shit as the Central Federal Reserve Chairman. All right, you know what? Let's just cut our ties with you. And if you want to do something, we'll go to war." And that's what's coming, man. All right. Powell is committed to raising interest rates to head off inflation. That might be a wise decision as long as the economy stays hot, which is not going to stay hot. We just seen it. Trade wars, all right? Shadow banking, okay? But is his mind supple enough and his inability to hold a consensus on the central bank's policy committee sure enough? If things sputter, say, from a trade war or trouble in the banking system. Many post-World War II recessions were caused by an overzealous Fed jacking up rates too fast. And that's what's Oh my God, you fucking Americans are so stupid. You're repeating what you've done prior to, to World War One. World War II. All right? When it came to your financial problems, your Great Depression. All right? You're doing exactly the same shit. You fucking Americans are retarded, man. But hey, continue doing it. Bring this bitch down, man. Fucking hate this place. You people are retarded, man. All right? You're insane. Insanity. Doing something over and over again and thinking and expecting different results. All right? You fucking morons. But it's good. Keep doing it. All right? Habakkuk. This is the book of Habakkuk. Chapter 2. And I'll start at 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Right. We here at Great Millstone, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, we're making it plain upon tables, man. Reading the scriptures, we're bringing it out, okay? America, you're caught in the biggest snare ever, all right? You're going to fall, all right? Your economy's going to collapse. You're going to go into this third world war, and that's it, man. That's your judgment, all right? And all hell's going to break loose. There's going to be nothing but death and chaos in America, man, when this economy collapses, okay? Verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. And it's speaking now, all right? This economy is going to collapse, okay? It's plain. The handwriting is on the wall, okay? The handwriting is on the wall, okay? Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry, right? We kept saying in 2008 up to now, the economy is going to collapse. The economy is going to collapse, all right? And they're always tearing, but guess what? It surely is coming, and now it's coming, man. It is going to be here, all right? I believe it's going to happen this year, man. Something's going to happen that this economy is just going to collapse so that the elite can bring in that new world order via microchip, all right? It goes on and says, verse 4, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, right? Because these crackers, man, all right, these financial maggots, their pride is in their heart. They think that, they can try to finesse the system, but the system's finessing you, all right? And you're going to fall, okay? And you're going to lose all your money. You crackers are going to jump out the windows, all right? You're going to jump in front of the trains. If you're in New York City, Wall Street, which I can't wait to read them articles, because I'm going to make a video. I'm going to make a video on that and just laugh, okay, while I'm reading it, all right? Because you crackers are retarded. You're the most dumbest people on the planet, the bases of men, all right? That's how you know, okay? We here, the Hebrew Israelites, man, we messed up with the Lord because he put the most dumbest race of people over us, okay? For them to do this all over again, to repeat the same shit that they did during the Great Depression is insanity. And that's what these crackers are about. Insane, all right? But it's beautiful. Continue what you're doing, all right? Just proves, okay? That's that pride. It's uplifting you. All right, your spirit is off, okay? And what you're doing, man, is just proof, man, that your pride is gonna destroy you, okay? But the just shall live by his faith. Right, we're living by our faith, man. When we see these current events, we see it, this prophecy being fulfilled, man. It's us building our faith up, reading the scriptures like, yeah, this was what it said in the Bible. It's going to happen, all right? That's what builds up our faith in this truth, man. Watching the news, looking at current events, all right? And then bringing it out according to the scriptures, all right? It's not hard, man. All right, Lord willing, this reaches out to some of you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Some of you, majority of you, you're idiots, you're useless eaters, you're going to die here in America. That's why when this economy collapses, you're fucking dead, man. You're done, all right? Verse 5. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth desire as hell, and is as death. Right, man. All right? Out here using your military to try to gather up resources, pushing in your financial philosophy on the whole world. All right? It's going to be a snare onto you, man. It's going to be a trap onto you. All right? Because these nations are going to cut you off. All right, they're no longer going to be tributaries to you, and you're going to be asked out, America. All right, because all that pride in your heart, thinking you can't be brought down. But guess what? According to your own journalists, you're fucking yourself up royally, all right? Babylon is fallen, all right? And cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people, right? Okay, with your philosophy, democracy, your financial philosophy, all that, okay? Verse 6, shall now all these take a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that layeth himself with thick clay, right? And when you look up that word thick clay, it means debt. How long are you going to continue going into debt, okay? Continue engaging the world with your financial bullshit, okay? It's not long enough, okay? Because it says how long. And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, right? Your time is up, all right? Your length of this illusion is coming to an end. And your debts are going to catch up to you, and they are. That's why, okay, the economy's acting the way it is, all right? People are, okay, frantic outside of this country. You're looking at China, Russia, they're freaking cutting off their ties with you Americans, all right? And even some people here in America, man, they're just, yo, I'm done with this place, all right? So it's about that time, man, for America, for you to finally fall and finally get your judgment. Verse 7, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Right, because when your economy collapses, man, these nations are going to take advantage, all right? That's why in this World War III, you're going to lose, man, all right? Because your economy is going to destroy your military, man, all right? So it's going to be beautiful, man. It's going to be an amazing sight to see for the elect's sake, those that believe in the Bible. For you that believe in whatever man wrote, whether it be evolution, atheism, Gnosticism, Hinduism, Buddhism, hey, you're going to be caught out, because guess what? Your religion is not going to save you from an economic collapse. Let me say that one more time. Your religion, your false religion, is not going to save you from an economic collapse, okay? Whatever you bind yourself to, whatever you put your faith in your mind to, is not going to save you from economic collapse, all right? But guess what? Those that are part of the elect, okay, of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, they're going to be saved out of this economic collapse, because the Lord said he's going to save his people, okay? Let's get to another article. This is from CNBC News. Stocks post worst start to April since the Great Depression. That's plain, man. All right, you're having stocks, okay, resembling the what's going on with the stock market, resembling the Great Depression, okay. Stock post worst start to April since the Great Depression, right? Resembling the Great Depression. All right, so we here. It said with the S&P 500 closing down more than 2.2% Monday, the broad market index clinched its worst start to April since 1929. 1929, okay. So we're here, man. All right? The Great Depression is upon America. And it's going to be worse than ever before. It says, I'm going to get to the point. B-Sub investment co-founder Justin Walters, who also noted the historic nature of the close, said in an email that equity fears aren't likely to abate until earnings arrive. Right? Because what is equity? All right? Asset minus liability. So wherever the real value is of the asset, okay, all right, because just because you say you have this price of stock, what's the liability to that stock, all right? So that's why they're looking at the earnings, all right? And then they say right here, quote, based on recent market action, the bears clearly have control right now, right? The bears. All right, meaning it's going down. All right, so yeah, you have little sporadic stock markets, goes up a little bit, but it's going down, man. This economy is about to collapse. It's time. All right, the elite, the secret societies, they want their new world order. The Rothschild, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, they're old, man. They want to see their vision. Okay, they want to see the RFID chip being implemented. All right, so that's what's coming. All right, now watch this. Let me get another scripture, Salakia. This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 11. How you inhabitants of Mektesh, for all the merchant people are cut down. all they that bear silver are cut off. Right, that's talking about, okay, the economy, man, all right? And America resembles Mektesh, okay? Just like what happened in Mektesh, this is what's going to happen here in America, all right? Everything's going to be cut off, all right? There ain't going to be no, the grinding shall cease, all right? A lot of people are going to be out of the job. There's going to be civil unrest, martial law, Jacob's trouble, okay? Shit's about to get live out here, man. Verse 12, and it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their lees. Right, you wicked ass pseudo-Hebrew Israelites, okay, talking about, all right, we're going to build here in America, building a nation, all right? You settled on your leads, all right? Because this nation, America, is going to collapse. And you trying to build a nation, and a nation that's about to collapse is an idiotic insanity, okay, way of thinking and a way of doing, all right? Because you're going to die out here. And you're settled on your leaves. And also you 2/3 that are still drinking off this Babylon juice, man. This filth of a nation, all right? You're going to die out here too, all right? That say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil, right? Because you don't know the Bible. You think the Lord's not going to judge America? You think the Lord's not going to drop this economy? He's going to make sure he puts the spirit on the elites to drop this economy, all right? Whether you want to look at it secularly or too much, there's too much debt, all right? The elites are like, hey, America, you took on too much debt. It's time to cut you off, all right? And they did that on purpose. But that's just what it is, man, all right? And that's the Lord putting the spirit on these elites and on the system to crash it, all right? So for you to think that the Lord's not going to do this, you're an idiot, all right? Verse 13, therefore their goods shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but none inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. Right. And there's plenty of articles, okay, that show that, okay, the houses are getting too expensive. People are not able to buy them, all right? Also, all the things that you have, okay, that you've collected, they're going to be taken, all right? The government's going to have to take a lot of people's belongings, all right? Because a lot of people are going to be out of work, all right? So they cannot be able to pay off their debts. And that's just what's going to happen, man. And there's going to be a spoil. Martial law troops are going to take your shit. You're going to have neighbors robbing your shit. There's going to be all, like, hey, man, if you hold your treasures here in America thinking that whatever you're saving up for, okay, is going to last you for another 10 years, you're assed out. Or, you stupid fucking preppers, all right? All your prepping is going to be, you're not going to be able to have it, all right? Because when this economy can collapse while you're at work, all right? And what you going to do then, okay? What you going to do when everybody's trying to run and go to the nearest grocery store, all right? And you caught in traffic, all right? Did you tell your neighbors that you were prepping? Were they prepping? Okay? Your neighbor might just run into your home while you're stuck in, okay, at your job or stuck in traffic, wherever you're at. All right? Because they're going to shut down these cities. Okay? They're going to shut these cities down. And then your all the shit that you were saving up for is going to be taken, okay, by those that got to it first. So now, let me go now to 2nd Esdras. Chapter 16, and I'm going to start at 16. Chapter 16, verse 18, excuse me. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. Right, there's going to be famine in the land, all right? These are the beginnings, man. When you start seeing this economy collapsing, this is the beginning of sorrows. This is the beginning of great mournings, man, all right? A lot of people are going to be crying in the streets. The beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, right, man? World War III be kicking off, all right? It's going to be all types of hectic, chaotic scenarios. And the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come, right? And that was Esdras, a righteous man, saying that, all right? Because what he saw, okay, troubled his mind. But guess what? All right, the Lord's going to protect Esdras, all right? because he is walking the earth today, all right? Because the elect men will be protected in these last days, all right? But you people, hey, these are the beginning of sorrows, beginning of great mournings, beginning of death, famine, okay? And this economy, when it collapses, you're going to see it, and you're going to fear, all right? Then you're going to understand, okay, what we here at Great Millstone have been prophesying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. Then you're going to understand, but it will be too late, all right? And that's talking to our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, because you heathens, you're done, man, right? This is your last hoorah. Let me get into another article, because this scripture and the economy collapse reminded me of this article. I brought it out about 2 years ago, I believe, but I think it's prevalent, or it suits for what's about to come, okay? This is from Deagle.com. Now, Deagle.com, they get all their information, they source their information from the U.S. Department of Defense, the Department of State, the CIA, the World Bank, and the European Union, all right? So this is where they're getting their statistics from, okay? Their data, all right? It goes on and says the United States of America. It says in 2016, the population is 324 million. That's what they claim. Might be more now, okay? This was 2016. The gross domestic product, 19 trillion, okay? That's the GDP. All right, the military budget is 612 billion. Well, that went up. It's about 700 because of Trump, all right? Now, mind you, this is 2016, all right? Their imports were 2.2 trillion. Their exports, 1.5 trillion, all right? Now, this is their forecast for 2025, all right? So this is what they're projecting, okay, by the year 2025. Population, 54 million. Makes sense why there will be a population of 54 million, because a lot of people are going to die, whether it be famine, okay, whether it be a martial law troop putting a bullet in the head, or whether it be the Third World War, okay? So yeah, a lot of people are going to die. So that's why they said 54 million projected for 2025, okay? The gross domestic product, 921 billion. It went from 9 trillion, okay, in 2016 to 921 billion, all right? Meaning you lost all your gross domestic product by the year 2025, okay? By the way, I will post this all in the description box, okay? So this is what's coming to America, all right? You're not even going to have a GDP of 1 trillion, okay? You're going to be worse off than what's it called? What's one of those countries that has high inflation? Zimbabwe. You're going to be worse than Zimbabwe, America, all right? This is Deagle.com. You'll read it for yourself. Military budget. Now, your military budget says here 612 billion. Your military budget will be 8.0 billion. Now, how can that be? Well, when the economy collapses, that means the military can't run properly. So you're going to lose, okay, all your military power. And so your budget will only be 8.0 billion, all right? This is from Deagle.com, all right? That's what's coming. That's what's coming, all right? Now let me go over now to what's about to come by 2025, if we get there. Lord willing, we're not here in 2025, okay? But in the midst of this forecast, okay, all these people dying, the economy collapsing, all right? Your military budget's 8.0 billion. America, you're fucking done, man. All right, you people, you CIA, FBI, what are you thinking, all right? You're not going to win in this last world war, man. You're not going to win. Your economy's going to collapse, all right? The elite of the CIA know that this shit's not going to last, and the elite of the FBI. But you little, okay, minions, all right? You're fucking, you're people, you're an idiot, all right? You are average American peons, you're fucking retarded, okay? What are you going to do when the GDP is only 921 billion, all right? Oh, I know what you're going to do. You're going to die, all right? Because you'll be dead while this is happening, all right? The population is going to decrease to 54 million, all right? And this is all due to spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, putting the agenda on the elite, the Illuminati, to fulfill this, okay, this vision that they have, all right? Because the vision is really for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's sake, to fulfill prophecy, all right? And to get rid of wicked people, useless eaters. Because you wicked people in America, you are useless eaters, all right? So now let's get, let's move over. So now what's going to happen through all this? They're going to implement the RFID chip, all right? That's going to be the savior for a collapsed economy, all right? The RFID chip. Now this is from Sputnik News. It says, billionaires betting on Bitcoin, Rockefellers, Soros sent prices soaring. So now you have the elite putting their money into Bitcoin, investing in Bitcoin. You see? Because Bitcoin is part of that RFID chip plan, all right? It says, a rally followed reports that two Wall Street giants, an investment fund founded by billionaire George Soros, and Venrock, a venture capital firm founded by the descendants of famed billionaire John D. Rockefeller, were all set to dive headlong into cryptocurrency trading. That's plain, all right? So, and RT did report that not only the Rockefellers and George Soros are doing it, the Rothschilds are doing it as well, okay? Because everything's being revealed. They have to reveal all this before they do it, all right? Because they think they're God in their eyes, all right? But you're not. This is the Lord putting the Spirit on you to do that, to make sure that the elect, okay, are aware and the elect are sealed. Because the elect are sealed for all this because they see the times that's coming. So now, let's get to the next article. Now, that was from Sputnik News. That came out 2 days ago. So now this is from Metro News. It says, you can now store Ripple and Bitcoin in a creepy microchip implant that's been compared to the mark of the beast, right? So when the economy collapses, the elite are going to push out the alternative, the savior for the economy, which is, the economy's still going to collapse, but the savior for those that want to, okay, keep whatever little wealth that they have. Hey, take the RFID chip, all right? It's in Bitcoin, it's in Ripple, all right? Hey, take it. You'll be able to have some sort of a life, okay? Even though it's, let me tell you something right now. When the economy collapses, everything's going to change in America, all right? So that some sort of a life is really just fabrication of itself. You ain't going to have a life, man. You're going to be locked in order for whatever the government, okay, says, all right? And you better shut your mouth. Thought police, all right, or the martial law trooper come into your home and say, what the hell are you talking about? Or, you know what? Let's go into a FEMA camp, all right? You can't be a productive citizen in our new world order, all right? That's exactly how it's going to go down. It says, whenever you got loads of cash in your wallet, there's always the chance of losing it or being robbed. You see that? That's how, that's another reason how they're going to push this. But if you're using the cryptocurrency Bitcoin and Ripple, you can now store them in a place where you'll never mislay your cash. Danish firm called BuyChip has just released an update for its microchip implant, which means it can use Ripple, one of the hottest virtual currencies right now, right? A lot of rappers are using Ripple. One of them, Uncle Murder, he says he's into investing in Ripple, all right? This means you'll be able to store your virtual cash stash under your skin by getting a chip installed in your hand. That's plain, man. The Book of Revelation. So you have George Soros, Rockefeller, Rothschilds investing in cryptocurrency, okay? Investing in Bitcoin, Ripple, all right? And now they're saying that those cryptocurrencies can be used with the RFID chip. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causes all, Slovakia. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. That's plain, man. RFID chip, all right? Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the name of his, or the number of his name, okay? Economy is going to collapse. This is what they're going to use, okay, to implement, all right, the chip, so that some sort of financial transaction, some sort of commerce can still be conducted. All right. Verse 18. Here's a wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beasts, for it is the number of a man, and the number is 666, right? And this is, when you look up 666, it's chai, stigma, I forgot the middle part, but which means to puncture, okay, to implant, really to put the, incision, to cut, to put the chip in, all right? And that's what it is, man, stigma, okay? And that's why, that's the times that we're living in, all right? But the elect, they're not going to do that because they're watching the scriptures. They're reading, they're reading the scriptures and they're watching the current events that are transpiring, all right? This is the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, right? These scriptures, all right? Reading the scriptures, believing on these scriptures, and being patient. I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Right, what's the hour of temptation? The microchip, all right? The RFID chip, all right? So the economy is going to collapse, all right? The American economy is finished, all right? It's already being projected that it's going down, all right, from numerous journals, numerous financial, okay, experts, as well as the elite, the Illuminati want to do it, all right, to implement the RFID chip to bring about their new world order, all right? So if you're so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, and if you're still watching this, and you ain't have much time to be playing around, you need to come on board with Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, get into these scriptures, follow the law, statutes, commandments, come back to your heritage, come back to your culture, okay, and do what you're supposed to do as a Hebrew Israelite. Not as a heathen, not as a Gentile. Or you're going to get caught out in this madness because the collapse is coming. You can't stop it. We are here. All right? World War III is coming. You cannot stop it. We are here. All right? These are the last days. And with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem, Rakah, Kodash, Barakatah. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. And salutation to the Akhmat. They're pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and making their body a living sacrifice for Yahweh, B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring. Keep the faith. As you can see from these articles in this video, we're almost out of here. And with that, shalom.